What's up, everyone? We got another garden tour today, and it's a nice hot day, but it's all right. Everything is doing amazing, so super excited to show you guys too.
You look at me like I'm crazy when I shut my feelings out. You look at me like I'm different, still you stay cause you feel something real. Get so lost in my moments, doesn't mean I don't need you. I fell in love with your colors, they kinda tell me what I'm thinking. I fell in love with the way we are and the way we lose it. There's something different about us, and the reason why we stay. We fly around like paper planes, they never know where we will fall. Nobody can see us, still they wanna tear us apart. There's something different about the way we are.
So our cucumbers are doing really well. We did plant them 2 weeks later than what we normally do, but they're doing good. We did have an incident yesterday. I was watering the strawberries with this just hanging here, and Eli thought he would have some fun, so he started playing with it, and little did he know he was stepping on one of the cucumber plants. So, oh well, we lost one. He didn't know any better. But they're doing great. And I think it's also helping because we're watering them like crazy right now.
We've got a lot of spots in the garden where this volunteer dill is coming up, and it's quite a bit farther ahead of our cucumbers as far as for pickles. And I did plant some up in a pot on the deck, so that's starting to come up and is doing really well too. But I did learn that tip last year of freezing the heads of dill seed so that I can use them whenever I want to make pickles. So I'm going to be doing that if these come in before our cucumbers do. So despite the heat, I feel like this is one of our better years for broccoli heads. We've been taking little ones off here and there before they bolt, but we've been doing pretty well with getting some broccoli heads and a lot of side shoots as well. I did pull out some more of those scraggly ones that were in here that were going to seed, so I don't think we have any like that.
So our kohlrabi's doing very well, and it needs to be picked. We have 2 or 3 of them that need to be picked this week, so we have to try to get some meal planning in to get these in there so we can cook them up. They're doing fabulous. I'm just shocked still on last year how thick the moths were in the greenhouse compared to out here, and we're not having any bug issues really out here, so that's very exciting and very good. Also, our garlic needs to be picked this week. It's at the final stage, so we'll be picking that, and it'll be in one of our vlogs, I'm sure, and we're gonna hopefully get a good harvest off of this. I don't know, because this is our first time growing it, and it was a drought this year. The onions definitely learned, and we're gonna have to do this differently next year, because from where we didn't weed to where we weeded is a big difference. It's crazy much of a difference. And we planted 1,000 onions, and how many we lost just because we didn't weed, didn't have the time. And you can say lazy, you can say whatever you want, it didn't get weeded, and it's our fault. So the ones we did weed are doing fabulous, and they're growing like crazy, which I'm glad. So I don't even know if we're gonna have enough onion for salsa, but we'll have enough for fresh salsa.
I think we planted 3 or 4 zucchini plants this year, and we only have 2. But both of them are doing really well. I haven't seen any zucchini yet. I see somebody stepped on this one, so it looks like it's gonna lose a leaf. But we planted these really late, planted them like seed like usual. My thoughts were, you pretty much always have a ton of zucchini, so we'll be fine with whatever we get, even though they got planted late. And I still think that's the case. I think come August, we're gonna be drowning in zucchini like usual. Although it has been super dry this year, we've been trying to keep our strawberries watered really well, and their leaves look really happy and green for the most part, but we've still only been getting a few strawberries on and off from them. So we're just kind of enjoying the ones we're getting, and hopefully it'll be a little better next year. So we were out here yesterday as a family picking raspberries, and we probably spent a good hour just in here picking them and ended up with a few cups of them. You know, the kids like to eat a lot of them too, but they're still doing really well, so this raspberry harvest is lasting quite a while.
So the pepper plants have really done a comeback. I watered them yesterday for 2 hours with the drip tape, and these bush beans, wow, they are just going strong. It is amazing. They've really just kicked into high gear. There is flowers all over on them, and I cannot wait until we can start harvesting these beans, because we have some canning recipes that we really want to try, and I think we're gonna freeze some this year for just fresh beans.
As usual, tomatoes are doing really well in these cattle panel trellises. They also need some more clipping up, so we'll have to be out here doing that soon. I think we have a few clips out here, so we might be able to do this before we go up. But the kids have been out here almost every day guessing when we're going to get our first red tomato. So far I haven't seen any turning yet, but there are so many green tomatoes that it's just a matter of time.
So we're just talking. We don't know quite what to do down here, because if you look, these tomato plants down here, about 3/4 of the way down, are just a lot shorter, and we have a lot of other plants like your broccoli and everything. They're leaning so much to this way, and I think it's just they're not getting enough sun, and so we don't know what else to do down here to make things grow. We don't know if it just needs a lot more fertilizer also, but when you look at our potatoes, they're all leaning that way too. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a fertilizing thing. I think it's just kind of probably mostly sun. So this is kind of a bummer, because this is a big chunk of the garden that we want to use and utilize. We just have to figure out what to do, or maybe see what kind of trees we need to trim. And the cabbage down here is probably our best looking cabbage, I would have to say, by far. So I don't know if we just keep trying to do things differently and come in and put chicken manure down really thick this fall, and then put a bunch of wood chips over it and plant more cabbage down here and try some other things and just see if that works. I don't know.
On the other hand, it's always really good to take a look at what nature's doing, because apparently the wild grape leaves really like it down here, and the wild blackberries are some of the best in the yard, the ones that are coming into this area of the fence. Now, if only there's something we can plant that will do this well down here.
I almost forgot. It's July 12th, and the sunflower is neck high.
There's something different about the way we are.